jellyfishes, clear blobs floating above the ocean, their grand purpose being to simply exist. If one day they were to go extinct, the entire ecosystem would collapse. They exist to simply exist, not to achieve great things in life that determine their value in society. Their divine purpose being to exist. Something we do every second of every day. Something so simple yet impossibly complex, existing. I know I'm only 17 and you might think, what could someone so young possibly have to say about life? But maybe that's the point. I'm in this phase in life where I'm between naivety and experience, between dreaming and doing. There's so much I haven't seen, done, or understood yet. And that's exactly why this question gnaws at me. What does it mean to simply exist? We often think of existing as something passive, but is it really that simple? Or is it a deliberate effort, a form of creation, an art, something we have to practice, refine, rediscover again and again? We live in a society that glorifies productivity, action, and purpose, as if we're raw materials to be shaped into something valuable. But I believe it's art. It's not about being complete or perfect. It's about feeling, connecting, expressing. It's about creating meaning if no one else sees it. As I unfold the concept of existing and being, I come across discovering the self as a social construct, the individual versus the collective. Am I the sum of my experiences, my relationships, my dreams, or is there something more, something infallible that makes me me? It's fascinating to see how much of our identity is shaped by the world around us. It is like we live in a society where it claims to celebrate individuality, but it quietly demands conformity. It's the tension between who we are and wanting to be who we want to be. It isn't a personal experience. Existing is deeply social. It is, from the moment we're born, we're embedded into systems and structures that define the way we live and think. But where does the collective end, and where do I begin? Am I the roles I play, or is there true self behind it? How do I balance the desire to belong with the need to be authentic? It raises a profound question to society. How do we reconcile our individuality with our interconnectedness? Who are we? Are we our actions, our experiences, or something deeper, less tangible? We are more than just minds. We're embodied beings. We are our emotions, our choices. The self is both internal and external. It is shaped by inner experiences, sculpted by external forces. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." As my experiences differentiate me as an individual from the collective, the paradox of memory and the weight of emotional baggage sit heavily on my shoulders. Nostalgia is a sharp edge. It makes us ache for a past that feels so much more better than the present. I'm a slave to nostalgia, conditioned to miss and miss, like moments with people I don't talk to anymore, the simplicity of being 10 and not overthinking every choice. It's a safe harbor that reminds us, if even only in our minds, some things remain untouched by time. I sometimes catch myself even feeling nostalgic for the future, for a version of life I haven't lived yet, a life I can imagine but can't quite reach. It's the future pulling at my heartstrings as if it's already a memory. But here's the thing. The future doesn't owe me anything. The past doesn't belong to me anymore. So I ground myself in the here and the now. Because memories are great, but it's the present that's so much more better, as it builds the past we miss. But it brings me to resentment, which is quite the anchor. It roots itself in moments we feel betrayed by life. It is the type of baggage that's inseparable from existence. It roots itself in comparison and perceived injustice. We compare what is to what should have been, and no matter how small the gap, it festers. Irony is that it binds us to the very thing we wish we could leave behind. I will not forgive, I will not forget, I will not let this go unacknowledged. We think it's an act of self-protection. But the thing about grudges is, They don't protect us. They trap us. They freeze us in the moment of hurt. The philosopher Epictetus wrote, "It is not what happens to you that matters. It is how you react to it." Letting go isn't a sign of weakness. It's an act of strength. It is prioritizing your peace over your pain. It is letting go of things you can't change so you have space to embrace what you can, not for others, but for yourself. But now, what is our individuality? Is it defined by purpose? I find myself at a crossroad where people are constantly asking me, what's next, Zenab? Where do you see yourself? What do you want to do? They require concrete answers because ambiguity makes them uncomfortable. But here's the thing, I don't really know. And admitting that feels like a small rebellion against everything I've been taught, that knowing gives you control, and control is what gives you value. But existence precedes essence. Our essence is what we create through our actions and choices, as the man is nothing else but what he creates of himself. Liberating, yet daunting. Maybe Leo Tolstoy wrote that everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. It's the duality of selfhood, the tension between who we are and who we strive to become. But maybe being human isn't about control. It's about leaning into the uncertainty, discomfort, and messiness. It's about not making ourselves, rather finding ourselves in the spaces we inhabit, as the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thought. We live in a world that values productivity and purpose. So it's easy to believe that we need a reason to exist. But maybe, why does existence need justification? Let's step beyond this framework of purpose altogether. Zen Buddhism offers a radical perspective that existing is valuable simply because it is. It is not about striving for meaning, rather being present, experiencing life as it unfolds, contradicting the very systems we exist in. And that's a complexity of life. It's full of paradoxes, full of contradictions. It's messy, it's dynamics, in flux. We can feel joy and sadness at the same time. We can feel so sure of ourselves one moment and lost the next. You can love someone deeply and feel distance from them. And that's okay. That's what makes us so profoundly human. It shows that we're evolving constantly, being shaped by new experiences. I don't have it figured out. I don't think I ever will. And maybe the art of existing isn't about resolving these contradictions and complexities, rather about finding meaning in them, rather learning to sit with them, to live with them, realizing that life isn't black and white, but 1,000 shades of gray. I'm in this in-between stage in life where I'm old enough to question, yet too young to know. And that's what makes the art of existing so urgent, so raw, and so worth talking about. It's an overwhelming puzzle that I'll never fully solve. But it's not about solving, rather experiencing. Meaning is not avoiding struggle, rather finding purpose within it. Life's meaning is not universal. It is personal to each person and experience and moment, and we define it ourselves.